Yeah, hi, buddy. This is Hec. If you like the content for Hector Politics, like and subscribe. I don't have my comments on because I don't know. I got too many. The reason I don't have my comments on because I got too many trolls, so I just decided that I'm gonna just disable the comments. Yeah, but like and subscribe to Hector's News and Politics. Well, just Hector Politics now. I shorten it. Yeah, more updated news, breaking news, U.S. politics, and just U.S. news and world news. Thank you. Cheers. What's up, everybody? Hello. Oh, sorry. Oh, my thing is. Maybe I'll keep the blur. Oh, hi, everybody. This is Hector's News and Politics. Yeah, I'm gonna be talking about different things. Let me see the things I'm gonna be talking about today. I guess maybe one of the first things I want to talk about is that virus that's happening. The Yeah, or maybe the virus that's happening. There's like a virus in the United States that's happening. It's called the cyclosopri. It's called cyclosop. How do you even say this? How do you even say it? Cyclosporiasis. It's a stomach bug that's been going on. 86 hospitalizations, no deaths. Over 31 states have been affected with this. Yeah, it's super risky. Okay, what else do I want to talk? I guess the Maine shooting. There was a shooting in Maine. Yeah, a Maine shooting. What, 26-year-old man was killed, or it was unalived. I don't want to say that. Yeah. Let me see this news article. Let me bring it up right now. Says, yeah, the Immigration Customs Enforcement who shot Colombian man in Maine this week is an Army veteran who struggles with serious mental health issues since early childhood and has a badge and to patrol American streets. A close relative said to the Associated Press. David Bernuzzi, I guess that's the man who has maybe he's the ICE officer. I don't really know. Yeah, he killed he unalived Joanna Sebastian Duran Guerrero, a Colombian national. Yeah. I think I've seen other messages that he was a resident or it was like a work permit. Yeah. Let me see. Let me see another article. Maybe there's more information. But I think he had a work permit, which was kind of crazy that they still ended up unaliving him. He's 26 years old. Yeah. Yeah. He was trying to flee, so they ended up like I don't know why they didn't end up like I don't know. I don't know why these ICE officers always end up shooting. They always end up unaliving people. Let me see what else is. Let me see. Let me look up more news. Hey, let me see my thing. Oh yeah, my thing's getting picked up. I just want to look at some other news. I guess I'll just watch CNN. I'm gonna go on CNN's YouTube page and then I'll just watch. Sorry, I'm doing some research. Yeah. Let me just look at MS now. I guess really there's nothing. I thought there was gonna be more news, but I don't really see that much news today. Yeah, well, that's the second like ice shooting. There was an ice shooting of a man. Oh, here, let me actually change my name here. Sorry, this is my other channel. Here, let me change my name. I don't know why I keep using my other name. Yeah, sorry about that. I keep using my other name for my other channel. Yeah, there was a Houston man, but he was like in his 40s who passed away too because ICE decided to like unalive him too. Let me look at work. I guess we're gonna tariff. I'm watching this video. Let me post it. Let me share screen.
The Trump administration is launching a new tariff offensive. On Wednesday, the U.S. Trade Representative's office said a 25% levy would be imposed on most Brazilian imports starting July 22. The tariffs will cover thousands of products, including sugar, agricultural machinery, apparel, electrical equipment, paper, and steel. Some exports are exempt, such as beef, coffee, organic honey, and pig iron. The move marks the first action under the Trump administration's new tariff strategy, which is based on so called Section 301 investigations into alleged unfair trade practices. Washington has opened nearly 80 such probes, and more countries could face similar measures. In a social media post, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said Brazil's government had, quote, not negotiated with the U.S. in good faith. Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva said the move lacked any justification. He said he would continue to diversify trade partnerships and open new markets for the country's products. The U.S. investigation cites concerns including illegal deforestation and Brazil's instant payment system PIX, which the probe says disadvantages credit card companies. Brazil vehemently rejected all the allegations. It is also part of a separate U.S. trade probe due to conclude on July 24th, which could lead to additional tariffs.
Russia hammers the Ukrainian capital with overnight missile attacks, killing at least 2 people and sparking fires in 2 districts of Kyiv. And it happened just hours before the British Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, touched down in the city to meet with the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Starmer arrived as protesters are filling the streets, angry over President Zelensky's dismissal of his defense minister. CNN's Claire Sebastian is following all these developments for us. Claire, how much of an impact could this change in leadership have on Ukraine's war effort?
Yeah, I mean, this is coming at a critical juncture in this war. Russia is clearly in escalation mode. Ukraine is in this desperate race for new air defense supplies. And this decision by President Zelensky to let go his defense minister, a very popular figure, Mikhailo Fedorov, has only been in the job 6 months, but he's seen as a bit of a technological whiz. He's credited with the expansion of Ukraine's drone program, with the big success they've seen over recent months in terms of deep and mid strikes, attacking Russia's oil infrastructure, the effort ongoing at the moment to isolate Crimea, and the improvement of Ukraine's fortunes on the front line. This decision has really touched a nerve, I think, among the people. We're seeing protests not only in Kyiv, but in other parts of Ukraine as well. People calling for him to be reinstated, very worried about where this leaves the war effort. This is the guy also, by the way, who convinced Elon Musk to shut down Starlink for the Russians, which was something that caused a lot of problems for the Russians back in the winter and early spring. So why is this happening? Well, President Zelensky said that he wants unity between the defense ministry and the military. It seems that Fedorov has clashed to some degree with the top levels of the military establishment, but I think the feeling on the streets is that people haven't really had a full explanation. And that, again, is why this has touched a nerve. But a critical juncture in this war, we're seeing these missile attacks going up, and I think this is going to lead to questions not only within Ukraine, but among its allies as well.
Websites your competitors don't want you to know, part 2.
All you do is go to this website, and it lets you find out exactly how much your competitors are making by showing you how much traffic they're getting, where the
huge losses, tiny gains, and lies. That's the reality of Russia's war on Ukraine. It's plain to see in the strategic town of Konstantinivka, where last week Russia planted a flag in its center claiming its capture. But that's not true. Ukraine still holds lots of it. Yet its fate over the past year lays bare the crisis at the heart of Russia's war. Konstantinivka sits right on what's known as the fortress belt of heavily defended towns in the Donbass, the capture of which is a key Putin goal. Take it, and the other two remaining towns of Kramatorsk and Slavyansk are well within reach. But wind back a year, take a look at reliable battlefield maps, and you see a story about Moscow's persistence, but also how much tiny gains cost. Last year, we saw the road in was lined with fishing nets protecting from drones, but the town was under Ukrainian control and safe enough. But by November, it was being hit hard here in the southwest, with another drone video showing an airstrike just a few streets away. Ukraine still had troops casually in the city center, and Russia was still really on the contested southwestern outskirts. It's in the first week of the year that the map records a big leap forward for Moscow. But remember, their casualties across the whole front are estimated by the West at about 35,000 a month now, dead and injured. The Ukrainians are at this time still posting from the central railway station, but by February, white phosphorus is being used to horrific effect in the southwest. Even though the Ukrainians are still very much central, jump forward to April, and the damage done is horrific. Drone images right where we saw the Ukrainians in November, as the Russians have slowly crept in. We saw how perilous it was to get in and out ourselves. The netting we saw 10 months earlier, now a graveyard for so many. Russian flags central this week, even if the maps show they're far from controlling the town. 1 year of tiny, tiny steps and doubtless thousands of Russians dead for a town that is relatively tiny itself. Russia's real weak spot in this war.
Ukraine facing what it said was its fifth assault by Russia involving ballistic missiles this month alone. So the frequency of that does seem to be going up. Now, it was able to avert, shoot down, or suppress 5 out of the 8 ballistic missiles used, according to the Air Force. It has not been able to do so in some of the recent attacks. So what we're in now is a race against time. Ukraine and its allies racing to beef up Ukraine's defenses, as it's clear that Russia is in escalation mode. On Monday, they announced this coalition anti-ballistic missile coalition. The core of that is to come together, Ukraine and its allies, to build what would be a cheaper alternative, a cheaper European alternative to the Patriot system. President Zelensky has also called for a winter air defense package involving some 300 Patriot interceptors. That is a huge number, especially given that the effective collapse of the ceasefire with Iran will put even more strain on US stockpiles. So this really is a race against time. And I think, look, the sort of concentrating the minds around Ukraine, putting forward this package to what it says will be to survive what will be its 5th winter at war. And all the while we see from Russia signals that it's not.
Across the country, people are refusing to eat their vegetables. They're worried about Cyclospora, the outbreak that is causing all sorts of gastrointestinal case. Joining us now, MS Now Senior. Why do you feel that this time is different?
Ariel, good afternoon. This time it's different because there has been a direct cut of the team, the foodborne disease surveillance team at the CDC, both in terms of staff, just how many people are doing this work, this really vital work, making sure food supply is safe, it doesn't have infectious diseases associated with it, and then also doing testing. And we're testing for a smaller number of diseases now that might be detected, and we don't have enough people. And so what ends up happening is we're seeing caseloads, Ariel, 10 to 20 times higher than typical. This we commonly see Cyclospora, which is a parasite, spike in the summers, but we're seeing levels 10 to 20 times higher, in part, and we think largely driven by the fact that not enough people, not enough resources doing this vital work.
And at least 34 states, as we mentioned, have reported those cases. You have said, I think it was in your video, that a number of these cases is probably far higher than what we even know about. How difficult is it for health authorities to pinpoint the source of the outbreak?
In this case, Cyclospora, which is a microscopic parasite, it can infect the intestinal lining, cause symptoms that, as you rightly pointed out, I'll avoid talking about in detail, but it causes significant GI upset. But here's the complication, Ariel, is symptoms can begin anywhere from 2 days to 2 weeks after you eat, say, infected lettuce or cilantro that might be infected or a piece of fruit. And so a lot of people can't pinpoint, because there's such a lag time between eating something that might cause the problem in the first place and the incubation period is 2 days, 2 weeks. So that's the problem, is tracing that.
Yet another reason why I do not eat cilantro. How, in all seriousness, though, this is incredibly uncomfortable if it's contracted. Is it dangerous, and how can it be treated?
For sure. So, we have some actionable tips here, and I'll try to summarize it quickly. What should you do? This is a question I'm getting endlessly from all folks. What can you do to protect yourself? One, do you have to avoid salad? Answer is no, you do not need to avoid salad, but I would avoid bagged salads. And when it comes to produce, if you can peel it, that's always preferred. So if you can peel the produce and avoiding.
Yeah, it's just kind of crazy about this food virus thing that's happening. Insanity, viruses. There's always a virus happening. I think pretty much I'm in the stream. There's really nothing else. I know Trump's gonna have an event today, but speech today. What time is the speech? 9 p.m. Yeah, but 9 p.m. what? That means 6. Oh, he's gonna do it at 6. Maybe I'm gonna come back live when Trump does his speech. Trump's gonna do a speech at 6 p.m. I'm gonna just watch his speech at 6 p.m. So cheers, everybody. Hector Politics. See you guys. I'm gonna get going. Have a nice day. I'm gonna come back right now at 6 p.m. to watch Trump's speech live. I'm gonna end the stream, I think I'm gonna come back and